What is going on, everybody? Welcome to our Chom 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I am Marcus, and welcome to I Know What You Did Last Summer, Theories and Predictions Live, Part 2. This is definitely going to be a fun stream. You guys know I've been putting some content out there in regards to the new I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. Definitely a lot of interesting theories that I have already talked about, and have a lot of feelings about that film. I hope the anticipation and the hype ends up to be worth it. And got a lot to talk about, obviously. But as I put in the pinned message here on the stream, this stream is going to be more geared towards you guys and your comments and stuff like that, and your thoughts and your theories as I put some overlays together that I will be, presenting to you guys. And we will be breaking it down. Basically, it's going to be geared more towards what you guys think and how you guys think this movie is going to play out and all that stuff based on the overlays that I have presented here for you guys that I will pull up shortly. I will catch up with the chat. I am going to put together a super chat goal. So if you guys could just bear with me for a couple seconds, but I will get to the chat while I do that as well. What's up, Shannon? Glad to see you here. Saying I still say Ray is a fisherman or one of them. Like I said in the comments of the video, we don't see what Ben does to Ray, unlike Julie getting Max's head in her car, Barry getting ran over, and Helen, and I'm assuming there's a follow-up to this, getting her hair cut and the word soon on her mirror. Yes, we're definitely going to get into all that and stuff, Shannon. That's actually going to be the first overlay that I pull up, is we're going to be talking about Ray Brunson and could he be the killer and what his motive is going to be, so on and so forth. So give me a couple seconds. I will pull that overlay up. I'm just going to get caught up with everybody else in the chat as well. King Matthew saying my theory is Ray will fake his death on the boat that we see him on, then in the final act reveal himself as the killer. Either that or Ray dies. Hey, it's definitely possible. We're definitely going to get into some Ray killer theories here in a few minutes. Love it, love it, love it. I knew when I did that video, that that would be a very hot topic for us to discuss, especially on a live stream. And thank you for that, Shannon. Shannon saying, stab the like button, Ric Flair elbow drop, whoop, that bitch. Yep, that's right. Well, she didn't say that last part, but I did. You know what I mean? And stuff. But yep, you already know the drill, Shannon. And yes, everybody that is popping in here to the stream, definitely shoot that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you are a fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer or just horror movie content in general, it definitely helps out the channel if you shoot the like button and join us, And if you happen to be a new subscriber to the channel while watching this stream, let me know in the comment section so I can give you a proper welcome. And I will also put this out there as well, Val, if you can, because I see you in here in the chat, and as well as my other moderators and stuff like that. If you can put my membership, icon and link in the chat. So guys, I have the membership tiers put up. I will say this, you will see 3 membership tiers when you guys go into the membership package. Don't mind the $50 membership tier. That doesn't count. I have to delete that. I'm waiting for YouTube to recycle and start its whole new cycle for the month to delete that part, to delete that tier. But basically, we have 2 tiers that are going to be open and available, one for $2.99 and one for $4.99. You guys can go check out the perks there. I have some members-only content that is going to be available to you guys next week. You guys already see it, already put it up in the members-only chat and members-only community posts. So we're definitely going to be doing a lot more members-only stuff. So if you can, Val, please shoot that link for the memberships here in the comment section. It's greatly appreciated. King Matthew saying, I could also see Ray being the one that set up the traps that we see in the Shiver store in the trailer, because Ray did work as a fisherman in the original, so he would know how to set up traps. Yeah, that's a great point, King Matthew, for sure. He definitely could. I know I'm like super behind in the chat. I'm just going to basically try to catch up with everybody as best as I can, because I know some of these comments were from way earlier before the stream even started. Shannon saying, if Marcus is late, I honestly have no choice but to scream, what are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for at my laptop? Yeah, I obviously had this scheduled for 4 o'clock, but then I was just like, you know what? I want to kind of do something different on the stream instead of just, talking theories and predictions. Why not throw up some overlays about some of these topics and some of these theories that we're going to be discussing and see if you guys like that and see how that works out. And we might be doing some more of that here on these live streams. Thank you for that, Shannon. I greatly appreciate it. King Matthew saying, I also don't know if this is true or not, but I did read off of a website that they are trying to get Moose Watson to be in this film. Maybe this fisherman causes Julie's nightmares to return. Hey, it's very possible. I think if they were to get Moose to return, it would be basically a nightmare sequence for Julie. I don't want to say that he couldn't return and be alive, but I mean, Moose is up there. He's like in his 70s and stuff like that. So I just don't know if he'd be down to really do that much moving around, but I can definitely see him come back in a nightmare sequence or a flashback, something like that for sure. Val saying, hey, you guys. What's up, Val? Glad to see you here as always. The General in the chat. Love you, Val. Thank you for being here as always. And yes, I'm sure you guys saw this in the pinned comment already, but I will also say this here. In this stream, the questions and comments will be geared more towards you, my loyal audience, as I've put together overlays for the topics and theories that we will be discussing this stream. It's not to say I won't be answering you guys' questions that you may have for me and all that stuff, but basically this stream is more geared towards the ideas that you guys have. Jeez, I cannot even talk. This stream is more geared towards the ideas that you guys have in regards to the I Know What You Did Last Summer film that is going to be coming out next Friday. Like, I've given a lot of my thoughts and theories so far in these last few videos. I still have more videos that I will be posting about this movie, but I'm really interested to see the ideas that you guys come up with, and stuff like that, because everybody has their own opinions and everybody has their own style on how they would like to see certain things play out. So this is definitely going to be a fun conversation. And guys, let me know if the music is a little bit too loud. I do have some background music playing. I don't think it is, but if it is for you guys, let me know and I will turn that down. Stella G saying, happy Friday all. Happy Friday, Stella. Glad to see you here as always. Hope you're having a great day. Nice, Paula. Paula saying, happy Friday. Seeing Jurassic Park tonight at 6:45. Nice. Awesome. Let me know how you feel about it, Paula. King Matthew III saying, do you think it's possible Ryan Felipe returns in this new film for a cameo? Maybe Julie has a dream of Barry or a nightmare. I mean, if we're going to do nightmare sequences for Julie, I could see that playing out. I could see that playing out for both him and Sarah Michelle Gellar, Helen Shivers and stuff like that. So anything's possible. Apparently, we are supposed to get a bunch of surprises in this film. So, hey, I'm all here for it. Yo, what up, Tom? Glad to see you here as always. Hope you're having a great day, buddy. Sean, I hope I say this right. Sean Croshoe saying Tyler's character, I can't wait for it. Huh, interesting. Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk a little bit about Tyler. I've added her to one of the overlays as part of the friend group. I know she's like not really a part of the friend group. I know she is a podcaster that I think they all go to advice and for help and all that stuff. So we're definitely going to be talking about Tyler's character and how she could play a role into this film. Yes, thank you so much for that, Val. That is greatly appreciated. Please make sure you smash the like button. It definitely helps out with the YouTube algorithm and gets this stream noticed. Val saying love you too, Gosi. Thank you for that, Val. Paul is saying, is Ray too obvious of a suspect, and could he just be a red herring? I mean, yeah, I mean, he could definitely just be too obvious. We've seen that done plenty of times in horror movies before, where someone looks so obvious that you just almost lock in on them and assume they are the killer, and they turn out not to be. You know, they kind of did that with Ray in the first movie, you know, so could they do that with him again? Yeah, sure. Me personally, I'm leaning more towards that's not the case, but that's just me. That's just me. That is right. Shannon saying we love our Val for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Troll, what's going on, bro? Saying happy Friday. Prayers up. Ric Flair. Woo! That's right, bro. That's right. Thank you so much for being here, Troll. It's always great to see you, man. Anna in the chat, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe you are a new subscriber because I have not seen you here in the community before. So if you are, welcome. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Saying, do you think Sarah has more chance to return for a dream cameo than Ryan? Yeah, absolutely, because they've been definitely having a lot of Helen Shiver Easter eggs. They definitely have been hinting towards it and stuff like that. So yeah, I could see something like that happening, but I can also see Ryan returning in a cameo too. You know, especially if they're going to be giving Julie James a dream sequence or a couple of dream sequences, you know. I definitely could see that happening. But in regards to Sarah, yeah, I definitely do think she has a higher chance of doing a cameo in this movie because we know her and her director, Jennifer Caton Robinson, has a really good relationship. And Jennifer Caton Robinson wanted to somehow, some way, bring Sarah Michelle Gellar back as Helen Shivers in this movie. And according to Sarah Michelle Gellar, she told her no because basically, you know, she's dead. You know, we saw her die. Well, we really didn't. We saw Ben Willis slashing her up, but we seen her dead body in his boat in the ice and stuff. And I guess she feels she didn't want to undermine the audience. But hey, if there's a will, there's a way. So maybe Sarah could be more involved in this movie than we think. And then we know. Maybe. Yes, thank you for that, Val. Thank you for welcoming both Sean and Anna here to the channel. I greatly appreciate that. King Matthew saying, I definitely see Carla being brought into the film, maybe near the final act. Maybe Julie calls Carla for backup if Ray dies or if Ray betrays Julie. Yeah, I do. I want to say no. It has been highly speculated that there will be like a post-credit scene or something like that. And I do assume that that will be Carla that will be in that post-credit scene. So, yeah, I can definitely see her being brought into the film as well, more towards the end, you know, the end, like when the credits roll and then they give us that little extra scene. Yeah, for sure, Matthew. Yeah, I can't see Carla, and we're going to get into it here very shortly, but I can't see Carla being incorporated into this movie without Julie James being present with her. I will say that. Basically, I don't think Julie is going to die in this movie. And if she were to, I don't see what would be the point in bringing Carla back. You know, because for me, Carla is not a strong enough character to stand on her own. And that's just me. It is. It really is, Dom. Dom saying it's cool Freddie Prinze and Jennifer Love Hewitt are back acting. Yeah, I think they both have done like projects, you know, their own little projects that they've wanted to do over the years. I know Freddie Prinze was working with WWE for a good while there, and he continues to do so with some of their, you know, shows like WWE Rivals and stuff like that. But it definitely is good to see them back in front of, you know, the big screen and getting the love and the shine that they deserve, especially for this franchise. For sure, man. Yes, me too, Val. Val saying, I was happy to see them both back for this one. Dom, not sure I would see it if they weren't. Yeah, I agree. I know a lot of people, you know, I've had a couple people comment to me like, oh, they're not too thrilled that they're coming back with these new characters. They want the story to be focused on them again. And I understand that, you know, nostalgia, and that's what we're used to and stuff like that. But the way I see it is the first two movies did a really good job of really building both of their story arcs to the point where I feel like if you were to do another Julie James, Ray Brunson focused I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, it would kind of seem a little bit stale. So having these new characters around to blend their accident and the events that take place during this accident to mesh in with the past of Ray and Julie, I think if it's done correctly, this was the correct way to go. You know what I mean? Like, but I agree with you, Val. I don't think I would see this movie. I would give it a chance, but I don't know if I'd buy a ticket like I am to go to the theater and see it if they weren't going to be in it. So I agree with that. Stella saying, after watching different interviews with the actors, I am leaning more toward Ava being one of the killers. Yeah, that's right, Stella. Yeah, you're speaking my language. Trust me. I got a theory video coming out about that as well. Yes, absolutely. But let me reread that because I got super excited. But after watching different interviews with the actors, I am leaning more toward Ava being one of the killers. I think there are two, one male and one female. Awesome. Yes. I definitely think there are going to be multiple killers in this movie, Stella, and we're definitely going to talk about it here very, very shortly. I do want to get to these next couple of comments, and I do also want to put together this super chat goal that I had in mind and stuff like that. So let me read these next couple of comments from Matthew, and then I'm going to set up the super chat goal, and then we're going to get started with these overlays and these questions that I have for you guys, because I'm really interested to see what you guys come up with. I think you guys are going to love this overlaid question format in regards to some of these streams being more geared towards what you guys want to talk about and what you guys think and your theories, as opposed to you guys asking me questions and me sharing what I think. King Matthew saying, what is your thoughts on the director of this film wanting to do a crossover film with Scream? And I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm not against the idea, actually. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about both of these franchises, right? Is that the killers always turn out to be human. They're not superhuman or supernatural or anything like that, to where you would have to have the perfect matchup in order for that crossover to happen. These two killers in The Fisherman and Ghostface, it could be anyone. And that's the beauty about being able to do a crossover film like she wants to do between both of these franchises. So, hey, I'm not against it. I think it can be done. I think if written properly and if it makes sense, yeah, especially if you can get a world where we see both Julie James and Sidney Prescott in the same movie. That would be bad fucking ass. You talk about every 90s slashers like fans' dream scenario, pairing Julie James with Sidney Prescott. Oh, that would be pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. So hopefully this movie and the sequel, because we know there is a sequel that is already greenlit, which lets us know this director is highly confident in the direction that she has taken this franchise. Hopefully these movies do well enough, especially financially and with fan reception, that the demand for that, as well as Scream 7 and the other Scream films that are going to be coming out, hopefully they do well enough to where the demand for that type of crossover, you know, the fans would want to see that. That'd be really cool. What's going on, Bex? Welcome to the channel. I know you are a new subscriber because I have never seen you here in the community before. But thank you for joining the community. Thank you for subscribing and welcome. Glad to have you here. Saying Freddie says it's a dream role of his whole career, so surely this is meaning he's the killer. So you're saying basically Freddie has gone on record saying that it is his dream to play a killer in the movie. I mean, I don't want to say that means he's going to be the killer in this movie, but if there was ever a time to make it happen, this would be the movie and the franchise to do it. As long as the motive is great and he comes off as a credible, menacing, intense, serious killer, I think it will be accepted. I think it will be accepted well. You know, it's all about how they go about it if he is the killer. I see your comment, Val. I'm going to pull it up here in a second. Yeah, Paula, it would be cool. Paula's saying that would be cool. Julie James and Sidney Prescott teaming up. Hell yes. Hell yes. Absolutely. I'm just getting so many ideas thinking about that right now, what they could do for that. That would be really, really cool. Hey, we got one in regards to like the 80s slashers with Freddy versus Jason. Why not have one with the 90s slashers with the Fisherman and Ghostface? I'm not against it. I like it. I like it a lot. It's getting me excited. Ooh. Stella G saying, I think it's the characters of Ava and Billy that are the killers. So I'm assuming that you were saying Billy Campbell because we don't know what his character's name is. And he's the only Billy I know that is in this film. I don't know if there's any characters' names in the film that's actually named Billy, but I assume you're talking about Billy Campbell. And I will say this about one Billy Campbell. He plays a menacing villain really, really well. So I could definitely see him being a killer, especially if they don't go and take the shot of Ray being the killer. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that happening. Wow. Dom saying, imagine Sidney Prescott makes a cameo in the I Know What You Did Last Summer requel, confirming they're in the same universe. I mean, in technicality, they are basically in the same universe, just different states and different stories. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So they are definitely in the same universe. But man, that would be cool if Sidney did a Freddy Krueger style cameo. I don't want to say her like pulling up with a fucking glove and pulling Julie's face into the dirt. I'm not saying that. What I'm basically saying is if we get a cameo to the level of Freddy and, you know, Jason Goes to Hell, if we get that type of cameo in regards to Nev showing up in an I Know What You Did Last Summer film, that would be really badass. I would love that. That would be cool. Man, what? If that were to happen, I might just take my shirt off in the theater and start swinging it like a helicopter and screaming, North Carolina, come on and raise up. I would so do that. I would. Val saying, no, not Ray. LOL, LOL. Just laughing my ass off. I'm just going to say that, Val. I get it. I understand, Val. I 100% understand. Like, I love Ray Brunson too. Like, I'm a big fan of Ray Brunson's character, especially in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I didn't really care for him in the first one because I felt like he was too much of a punk. You know, I felt like towards the end of that movie, when he was fighting Ben Willis, he showed some moxie. But then in the second one, and I Still Know, loved Ray in that movie. He just had this, kind of badass type of, you know, feel to him to a degree, especially when he hijacks the boat and he points the gun, you know, at the guy whose boat it was, who actually turns out to be Destin's acting coach and stuff like that. Like, I just felt like Ray and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, even though we didn't get a lot of him in that movie, the scenes that we had of him were very, very enjoyable. You know, I liked Ray a lot more in the second one. And I get it. You know what I mean? He's kind of like the Dewey of I Know What You Did Last Summer, because the truth of the matter is he did save Julie James 2 times. He did. But even though he's done that, where has it gotten our boy? She still left him. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm put it this way. I hope if they do make him a killer it's not 100% motive, like his motive. I don't want it to be geared towards the fact that Julie left him. I think that would be too easy to do, too cheesy. It'd be too expected. You know, we would expect if Ray's going to be a killer, he did it because Julie left him in Southport. I want it to be something deeper. Maybe give us an unknown connection to the past in regards to Ben Willis that we didn't know about. I know some people have speculated and have had ideas that maybe Ray and Ben knew each other before the events that took place with the car accident because they were both fishermen. And there was definitely moments where Ben could have killed Ray, but didn't pull the trigger. So, I mean, I just want the motive. If Ray is going to be a killer, I want it to make sense. I want it to make sense, and I want it to be deep. I want it to be dark. I don't want it to be, oh, Julie, you left me. You left me here in Southport by myself. I would hate that. I would not like that at all. Would not like that at all. All right, so I am going to get to this last comment, and then I'm going to put together a super chat goal. I will put together a super chat goal to extend the stream, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what time I'm going to extend the stream to until I make the goal. But Shannon saying, I highly recommend the series Party of Five. Jennifer and Nev were in it. It's a drama kind of show. Yes, absolutely. Believe it or not, your boy used to watch that show as a kid, and that's how I was familiar with Nev Campbell and Jennifer Love Hewitt when they both went to do Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and stuff. You know, that was part of my childhood growing up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely go watch that show if you guys want to see Jennifer Love Hewitt and Nev Campbell in the same TV show, in the same movie. What's a TV show? But under the same roof, so to speak. But still, let's hope that these movies, I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream 7 and Scream 8, they do well enough to where maybe, just maybe, we could do a crossover event. I would love that. I think it would be cool. Beck saying, no, haha. Freddie said the other day that what he got to do in this movie is something that he's wanted to do his whole career. So surely he's the killer, otherwise just playing a trauma victim. Oh, okay. Got you. Yeah, I mean that would basically have heavy implications that he is the killer, but it could still also mean something else. We don't know. I get it though. It does sound like he's going to be the killer based on that interview and those comments. It does sound like that. The way he's framing his wording, it definitely does sound like it. So, hey, we're just going to have to wait and see, though. You know what I mean? We're just going to have to wait and see. Oh, okay. See, and that's interesting because we're going to get to that here, Stella, in regards to Nicholas Chavez's character, because if I'm not mistaken, we do not see him in the trailer. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about that aspect. Stella saying, no, the character of Billy is played by Nicholas Chavez. Yeah, okay, got you. See, when I've gone on to look up the cast list for I Know What You Did Last Summer, some of their names aren't present on a lot of these cast lists, only the ones that we know about. So even Billy Campbell's character, like, I don't know what his name is, you know, because some of these sites don't have it. I don't know where you found that at, Stella. Let me know. Hit me up on IG and let me know where you found that at, or let me know in the comment section so I can take a look. But thank you for that, Stella. I greatly appreciate that. Paula saying Billy as in Billy Loomis, right? We have 18 people, well, now 19 people here watching. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please atone for your sins and shoot that like button, stab it, kick it, punch it, elbow drop Ric Flair. Woo, that son bitch. It definitely helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps out the channel a great bit. Okay, so this will be the last comment I read before I make this super chat goal, because I do want to get that done because we are 30 minutes in. Beck saying the accident this time around doesn't really look like something they are blamed for, you know. They are just in the middle of the road, whereas in the original, it was a hit and run. It was a lot worse. Yeah, I will say this. In multiple trailers, you have two different scenarios that play out in regards to how the accident happens. But even Jonah Howard King in a YouTube short in promotion to the lead up to the movie basically confirms that these friends are fucking around in the road, and that's what causes the accident. So because they're playing games in the middle of the road while these cars are coming at them, that does kind of, make them very responsible and kind of gives them something to be to blame of. You know what I mean? And stuff. You're playing around in the middle of the road and you see a car coming, and there is a scene in the trailer. I don't know if they're going to use it, but there's a scene in the trailer where you see Teddy doing this in the middle of the road, kind of egging on the car to hit him, so, and that apparently, or those type of shenanigans is what causes the accident. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So even though they didn't hit somebody, it's still the point that you're fucking around in the middle of the road, knowing how dangerous that could be, especially if a car comes. And because you chose to do that, an accident actually does happen and stuff like that. So, yeah, different scenarios, but in my opinion, kind of the same thing, just a little bit slightly different scenarios. Stella saying, Val, I'm with you. My Ray loving heart can't take the thought. I get it. I get it 1,000%. I guess I am more, it's like this. I'm not against seeing it because I have never seen Freddie Prinze play in that type of role before. And it's intriguing, especially if he can pull it off. I want to see if he can pull this off. I want to know if he can do it, because I am so used to him playing like a wholesome, good guy type of character. I want to see if he can tap into his inner psycho, because if he can do that, I think he could be a really good killer. I really do. I just hope, even if he does match a killer's intensity, I hope the motive is good. Because if the motive is not good, then the intensity and how menacing he is as a killer doesn't matter. So hopefully they have a great motive if they are going to turn him into a killer. All right, guys, so give me a split second. I'm going to put together the super chat goal, and then we're going to get into these overlays that I have here for every single one of you guys in regards to these theories and predictions that we're going to have for I Know What You Did Last Summer. What's up, Horror Paradise? Saying, what if he's actually doing it to protect her and their secret? He saw the fishermen's identities and they aim to blackmail him. He's the second or third fisherman trying to get them while unmasked. Ooh, that's interesting. So you're basically saying that Ray isn't really like a fisherman that is helping the new friend group, or one of the new friend group members that is going to be a killer per se. You're basically saying Ray could turn out to be a fisherman to come out against these new friend group, these new members of the friend group, to protect him and Julie's secret. I mean, it's not impossible to think that. I actually kind of like that idea a little bit. That's a little something different. I do wonder, right? Because we see newspaper clippings. We see, that basically in one of those newspaper clippings in the trailer of the movie, we see that it does show that the note that Ben Willis sent Julie James was featured in that newspaper clipping. That's been loaded into evidence. And my thing for that is, if their secret is still intact, when she gave that piece of evidence over in regards to the note or whatnot, did the cops not question enough the meaning behind I Know What You Did Last Summer? Excuse me. Did they not question that enough? Like, I would like to think if I was a cop and somebody hands me this evidence over from this killer that was after them, and the letter that they sent this victim reads, "I know what you did last summer." Well, one of my main questions is going to be, well, what did you do last summer that made them come after you? You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be interesting to see if they still play into that. If it's going to be interesting to see if their secret has already been revealed or if their secret is still intact, is basically what I'm saying, based on what we saw in those newspaper clippings. Good stuff, though. I actually like that idea, Horror Paradise. Good shit. I like it. I like it. Thank you for that, Val. Val saying 20 amazing people in the chat and only 15 likes. Please elbow, kick, and punch and slash that. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that, Val. Yes, if you are just popping into the stream, definitely do your boy a solid and shoot that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. It helps get this stream noticed. It helps get this channel noticed so we can keep it. So we can keep growing this beautiful community that we are growing here on YouTube. Okay, guys. So I am putting together the super chat goal now. I've been trying to put it together and put it together and keep up with you guys in the comment section because I don't want to seem like I'm going dormant. So I am putting that bad boy together while I talk to you guys. Just bear with me, and then we're going to get into the overlays. Yeah, no doubt, Horror Paradise. Happy to see you here. I love it. This is what I love about, content creating and doing YouTube and stuff. It's the engagement with you guys here in the community because we all share this passion and this love for horror movies and slashers and blood and guts. It's just, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that there are people like myself in a fictional standpoint, not realistic, even though we do have some of those out in the world. But from a fictional standpoint, there are some sick minds, that share this same passion. And I love that. I just love that whole aspect of doing content creating and, doing this whole horror YouTube universe thing. It's amazing. Yes, and thank you for that, Val, for welcoming Horror Paradise. Michael Sokol, I hope I'm saying that right, Mikal or Michael, please bear with me. I have a hard time sometimes pronouncing unique names, and your name looks very, very unique. But saying, what if motive have to do something with Ray's bar? Oh, so basically, like you're saying, like maybe the motive behind if Ray is the killer has something to do with maybe his bar fledgling. I did hear something about that Ray's bar is kind of like going to be like kind of underwater. I guess it's kind of like going in a tank. It's not doing that well financially. Maybe he's struggling and stuff financially and stuff like that with his bar. I did hear some rumors about that. So, maybe, it's very, very possible, What I love about what they did with Ray's bar, as casual as the bar sounds, as the name of the bar sounds, I love the fact that they placed it on the docks because remember, Ray was a fisherman in the first two films. So I think that is a nice touch and a nice homage to the character having his bar be set on the docks because that's where he loves to be. Ray has always been like straight Southport, small town, Croker feel. He just loves that whole atmosphere and he embodies what that town is made of, basically. Okay, get to some more comments here. I will turn the camera back on here in a second, guys. I'm still trying to put together the super chat goal. King Matthew III saying the cops were known to be useless, and I know what you did last summer anyway. Because that one cop didn't listen to Helen and he got killed by Ben Willis. Yeah, great point. Yeah, I feel like the cops for the most part, and like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream are fairly useless. Like the only cops in the Scream franchise that you can say weren't useless were Dewey and Mark Kincaid. So yeah, definitely, you know, Southport's cops, they don't seem to be too bright, you know, especially when you take into account the one from the first movie. Okay, so get to some more comments here. Yeah, right, Horror Paradise. See that tagline. That tagline is what really gets me. Is every secret, every kill has led to this. So I just feel like, why would you put that tagline in the trailers in the lead up to the movie if something from the past isn't going to have an effect on the present? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, I mean, again, it could just be a catchy, you know, tagline that they just threw in the trailer to kind of throw us off and make it seem like the past and the present will intertwine beautifully. But I do think that that's what they're going to do. I think there's something from the past that is going to be revealed. I do think they're going to take a page out of Scream's playbook in that regard. And if they do it right, I am all here for it. I'm not against it at all. Okay. Paula saying, in my Netflix rewatch, I noticed stuff that I didn't notice the first time I watched. It's interesting that you said that, Paula, because I was thinking about the letter that Missy Egan had gotten. Well, David Egan had gotten, that she thought was you know, a suicide note. Hopefully I don't get banned for saying that. And I was also thinking about the letter that Ray got. And I'm going to go back in that movie and take a look at both of those letters, because I have a feeling that they're very, very similar, if not the same written message that we might have missed the first time or the first few times watching the movie, not really breaking it down and paying attention to little nuggets like that. All right, guys. So the super chat goal is posted. So I will let you guys know right now. So if we get 10 super chats here in the next hour, if we get 10 super chats in the next hour, I will extend the stream. I was going to go an hour and a half. We started at 5:15. I was going to go until 6:45. However, if we get 10 super chats, if we hit the goal, I will extend the stream until 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. That gives you guys an extra hour and a half worth of content and extends the stream from an hour and a half to 3 total hours. So if you guys are interested in that, if you guys want to hang out up until 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, talking about our theories about I Know What You Did Last Summer's reboot that is going to be released next Friday, send in your super chats. If we hit the goal, I'm going to be on this bad boy up until 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, talking about all your theories and predictions leading into the new I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. And if we don't hit the goal, that's okay. You guys know I'm not super pressed about that and stuff like that. If we don't hit the goal, hey, it's still a great conversation. We're still having a great time discussing what we are thinking and what we are feeling heading into the movie. Now, let's get into some of these overlays, shall we? I'm super excited about this and super excited to see what you guys, think in regards to these topics that I have in the overlays and what you guys are thinking in regards to theories and predictions. So the first one is going to be, is Ray Brunson the fisherman? How would you write his motive for being a killer in this movie? Guys, right now, in my opinion, this is the hottest topic leading in to the I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. Will they make Ray Brunson a killer? How will they go about it if he is revealed a killer? I want to know what you guys think. How would you guys write his motive? I've seen a couple of you guys already shared some of your ideas in regards to his motive, what you guys think it could be. But I want to know how would you write his motive to be? Not how you think they're going to do it in the actual movie. If you were to make Ray a killer, let's say if you were Jennifer Caton Robinson, the director of this movie, and you had this idea to make Ray the killer in this movie, what would you have his motive be? I'm really interested to see what you guys think about this. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to keep the overlay up while you guys send in your theories and predictions and how you would write Ray Brunson being a killer if it was your decision to make him a killer in this new movie. Hey, what's up, DJ? One of my channel members and loyal subscribers. DJ, I don't know if you saw the members only live post. Well, I shouldn't say live. I don't know if you saw the members only community tab post that I posted earlier, but there is a poll that is put up for you guys to pick a Scream 7 topic live stream for members only. So go to the members only community tab that I have open for members and make your pick. The link is there. You guys can cast your vote, and whichever topic finishes with the highest voting percentage, that is the topic that we will do on a members only live stream for Scream 7. Glad to see you here as always, DJ. You know, that's our DJ. Go DJ. Put a 101, the hottest brother under the sun. You don't get me started. That's one of my favorite songs. Oh man. Val. I know, Val. I'm sorry. Val saying no. Ray isn't a killer. But if he is, I have to believe he was dragged into it, like already said. Ooh. So you think basically he would be dragged into it, like he wouldn't be a killer on his own free will. He would feel like being a killer because he feel like he kind of has to, maybe to protect him and Julie's secret. That's what I think you're getting at, Val. And if so, again, I'm not against that idea as well. I think that would actually be a fairly unique and plausible reasoning for Ray not wanting to, but turning into a killer, you know, to stop these new kids because of their secret, to stop their secret and Julie and Ray's from getting out, if it isn't already out in the ether. I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. I like the idea. I like it a lot. I think it's something different. I think it's something that a lot of people really haven't, you know, thought of. I know I didn't. You know, and stuff like that. So that's really cool if that is the case. I think that would be a very reasonable way to make Ray a killer in this movie, because it's kind of like he is a bad guy, but in regards to Julie, he's still trying to be that good guy to her and protect that secret so that nothing happens to her in regards to the cops coming after her and her losing, you know, her career as a professor, so on and so forth. Good stuff. And we have a $2.79 super chat in the house from Shannon C. I always get that mixed up. From Shannon Gates C, aka Talking Star Wars. What is going on, Shannon? Thank you for your $2.79 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Saying, what are you waiting for, huh? Yeah, right. You gotta plug it in there. You got to plug it in there. I will say this, Shannon, in regards to Jennifer's delivery of that line in the trailers, I actually find both versions of that delivery, one when she's yelling it and the one when she says it calmly. I actually enjoy those versions better than the original version. I don't know why. I just really didn't care for the original one. I just really didn't. I just felt like it was just when she, did it in the original one, it was just like, oh God, that you really said that? That's what you're saying? That's how I felt. But the way she delivers it in the trailer, it's awesome. I love it. And I'm super excited to hear her say that line. That is going to be so cool once we get to that point. And thank you again for your super chat, Shannon, and for your overall support. You're awesome. Thank you for just being loyal here to the channel for as long as you have been. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Every single one of you guys, when the lights were basically almost off on this channel, you guys didn't stop believing in me. You guys, let me go through what I was going through and come back home here to you guys and didn't leave me. So again, super grateful for you. Thank you again, Shannon. And we also have another super chat in the house from my good friend, Craven Something Scary. What's going on, man? I hope you're doing well, man. Thank you so much for the super chat, Steven, man. It means a lot, man, honestly. Saying, let's get this goal. Wish I could stay, but loving the stream, bro. Keep it up, Marcus. You've got the gift to take this channel to the stars, bro. Man, Steven, I greatly appreciate that, bro. Honestly, man, I super thankful, man. Super thankful. And you already know, Steven, I say it all the time, man. You are the one who motivated me to get into this game of YouTube horror content creating. And I will forever be grateful for you for that. I will always tell people that, man. You will always get your credit. You know what I mean? In regards to, me being a content creator and coming this far, that I've come. So again, thank you so much for your super chat, bro. It's greatly appreciated. And I hope you're doing well, man. I'm going to have to check, good gracious. Good Lord. I'm going to have to check out what you got coming up next and stuff, because it's been a little bit, because I have been fairly busy, trying to, get this. I know what you did last summer content out and just everything else going on in life. You know how busy it can be, man. But thank you for being here, Steven, and thank you for your super chat, bro. Okay, getting back here to the chat. And guys, we have 22 people here. If you haven't done so already, atone for your sins and shoot that like button, stab it, kick it, elbow drop Ric Flair. Woo, that son bitch. It definitely helps the channel out a great deal, and it means a lot. All right, so I'm going to get to some of you guys' ideas here for this overlay that I have presented up. King Matthew saying, I also think Julie would have major trust issues with Ray after Will Benson betrayed Julie. And I still know, because remember, Julie was the one who brought Will on the trip. Yeah, but I mean, how much trust issues did she really have with Ray after that fact? Because at the end of that movie, we see that she moves back to Southport with him, and it looks like they're either married or engaged. So I don't know if she had really trust issues per se in regards to trusting Ray. I just think her overall trauma through the years was just too much to bear to be with Ray, because, he can be seen as a constant reminder of that accident and of the past. So I think that's what it is more than anything in regards to maybe why Julie has decided to leave Ray. Good stuff, though, King Matthew. Good stuff. What's up, Oliver? Billy the Puppet saying, sits down and eats my popcorn. I think Jigsaw is the killer in this movie. That would be nuts. That would be nuts if the fisherman is revealed and it's John Kramer. It's Tobin Bell. I'd laugh my ass off. I mean, they're talking about this movie isn't going to be super serious, right? Well, if you're not going to be super serious with your killers, then that's what you would do. You would do something like that. Good stuff, Oliver. Glad to see you here, man. I hope you're having a great night. We also have another super chat in the house, a $2 super chat coming in from a Troll Campbell. Thank you so much, a Troll. I greatly appreciate it, bro. Saying, I was thinking that Ray have to help the fisherman. Ooh, so basically you're saying, let let me extrapolate this correctly, because this is why I think you're trying to extrapolate yourself. So basically, you're thinking that the reason why Ray will turn out to be a killer is because he is forced into it by the fisherman who is considered the main killer in this movie. Again, kind of playing into the aspect of dragging Ray into it and stuff like that, but kind of like, I guess, in a different way. I mean, I'm not against it. Like, I guess, maybe if the main fisherman, whoever is the main killer of this movie, basically goes to Ray and says, if you don't help us, then we'll make sure that Julie dies, or we'll blackmail her and make her life hell. I mean, I can kind of see something like that, you know, working to a degree. You know what I mean? I'm not against it. I just would want it tightened up a little bit. You know, I really like the idea that Horror Paradise had in regards to the reason why Ray has turned into a fisherman and why he's coming after these new kids is because he fears that if these new kids' secret gets out, especially with Taylor, you know, being a podcaster and stuff like that, then maybe the secret of them in regards to Ray and Julie hitting Ben with Barry's car, you know, that could be the reason why he's doing it, to protect him and Julie's secret. Like, if they were going to drag Ray into being a fisherman, that's how I would want it played out. You know, that's how I would want them to do it and stuff. But again, I'm not against that idea that you have neither. It just, in my opinion, it could be a little bit more tightened up if that's what you're trying to say, a troll. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm heading down the right path, so on and so forth, man. But greatly appreciate you, a troll. Thank you for your $2 super chat, man. You're awesome. You know, glad to always have you here in the community and in these conversations. It's always a great time. Okay, so I'm assuming, yep, that's what a troll means. Yeah, again, man, I'm not against the idea. You know, I just think that would be, I would like it to be a little bit more tightened up. You know, but then again, if the motive for Ray being a fisherman, because he's basically in so many ways being blackmailed to do so, to protect him and Julie's secret, again, I'm not against that. It's just, I'm not against it. It's just, my question is if Julie doesn't accept that motive, right? If she doesn't accept Ray's motive, you know, basically he's trying to do the right thing still, just in the wrong way. If she doesn't accept that, will that cause him to really snap and turn on her anyway, and turn on her and try to kill her? You know, I think that could happen as well, man. Good stuff. I'm loving this. This is why I wanted to put these overlays and stuff together, because I knew you guys would come up with some awesome theories and predictions for how, you know, whatever we have placed in these overlays play out and stuff. That's good stuff, man. Love it. This is what I want. This is the type of engagement I want here. Oliver's saying, I just want to see this movie because of Jennifer, and it's a movie that doesn't make you think. I can kind of agree with that. Oliver. I will say this. I do think what they're doing with this movie this time around, with this reboot, we are going to have to think a little bit more than we did in the original. And the reason why I say that is because, excuse me, in the original, they did a good job of playing into the aspect of, it's not a whodunit, but because they covered up Ben's face, they kind of made it a whodunit, but we still knew who the killer was going to be. And this one, it definitely does seem like they're diving into the real whodunit aspect in regards to making us think who's going to turn out to be one of the killers out of this new friend group, and who are they going to be working with if they're not working alone and stuff like that. So I do think they're going to make us think a little bit more in this movie, but especially with breaking down the trailers and stuff like that, I do think it has been made a little bit easier to predict who's going to be who and who's going to be not. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, yeah. And of course, Jennifer Love Hewitt is in it. I agree with you. Definitely one of my crushes from the 90s, and stuff like that. She still looks great. She still looks fantastic. And I'm just happy to see her and Freddie Prinze Jr. get their due diligence in regards to the horror genre and in regards to the slasher genre, because in my opinion, I Know What You Did Last Summer is my number 3 favorites 90s slasher. Number 1 is Scream. Number 2 is Urban Legend. But number 3 is I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I have a lot of love for both the original movie and I Still Know. I think I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is a good sequel that gets ragged on too much. But that's just me. That's just my faults. You know what I mean? And stuff. I enjoy both of the original movies and stuff. So, yeah, I agree with you, though, Oliver. I definitely agree. King Matthew saying my other motive for Ray being the killer would be maybe he's part of this new accident. Maybe this new group accidentally runs him off the road. Whoa, let's go. And the group go to him like how Julie went to Ben in 1. I'm assuming there's more here, Matthew. Hold on, give me a second. I'll get to it. I believe that's the end. Okay, so let me reread that. My other motive for Ray being the killer would be maybe he's a part of this new accident. Maybe this new group accidentally runs him off the road, and the group go to him like how Julie went to Ben in 1. Yeah, I'm assuming you mean how Julie went to Missy Egan, because Julie was under the assumption that the guy that they hit was David Egan. So that's what I'm assuming that you mean in regards to Ben. Because remember, Julie didn't find out about Ben until more towards the end of the movie and stuff like that. But man, it's so interesting that you brought that up, because I was thinking, and I might just do it anyway, you know what I mean? I was thinking about doing a theory video in regards to what if Ray is the one that they run off the road? Because remember, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, Ray is driving a truck. And whoever gets run off the road in this new film is seen driving a truck. So, hey, man, I like it. I like the idea. I think it fits in well. And that would be nuts if Ray is actually the victim. If he's actually the victim of the accident this time around, who turns out to be the killer because he is a victim of that accident. And it's kind of paying homage to the original with Ben Willis and their accident and stuff. I like it, man. I like it a lot. I have definitely given it some deep thought in regards to, could it be Ray that we see who's in that truck that swerves, that goes over the rail, and he's the one who's our victim in the accident? I have definitely thought about that. Good stuff, Matthew. I like it, man. I like it a lot. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. And we have another super chat in the house from DJ Plays Favorites. Go, DJ. That's our DJ. Thank you so much, DJ, for your $4.61 super chat. Saying, don't remember much from the OG. Is this a remake? This is a reboot. This is a requel, kind of similar to Scream 5, DJ. So basically what they're going to be doing is in this new movie, they're going to bring back the legacy characters of Ray Brunson and Julie James, and they're going to be meshing them with the newer characters in Chase Sui Summers, Madeline Klein, Jonah Howard King, Tyreek Withers, Sarah Pidgeon, and stuff of that nature, to where there's a new accident that happens, kind of similar to the OG, just in a different way, to where the legacy characters are involved because their past is intertwining with this new accident in the present and stuff like that. So this is a requel / sequel / reboot where we get the legacy characters and some new characters all blended into one story. So similar to Scream 5. That's what they're going to be doing with this new I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot film. Thank you again for your $4.61 super chat, DJ. It's greatly appreciated, buddy. Greatly appreciated. Michael saying Ray from red herring to hero to villain, that would be unique. I agree, man. I see it that way too, as long as they do it correctly. If they do it in a cheesy, not serious, weak motive type of way, it would definitely fall flat. And I really hope that that's not the case. But I agree with you, especially with how you laid it out, from red herring to hero to villain would be unique. I agree with that. It would be unique. Oliver say, oh crap. Val, can you please take care of that for me? I did it again. I accidentally banned somebody with these big old fingers of mine trying to press the button. I'm sorry, Oliver. Don't be mad at me. I apologize. We'll get you back in here in a second. Sorry, man. A troll saying that's a good theory. Matthew would definitely like a Saul reveal if that was to happen. Oh, that would be unique. I guess I missed that. Okay, King Matthew saying what I meant was Ben tricks Julie onto her boat near the end by acting like he's helping her. Then he tries to kill her. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying now. I get what you're saying. No, man, that's a great idea. That is a great theory, man. That could definitely work, in my opinion. It could. It definitely could. It's all about execution, as we always like to say. Thank you, Val. I'm sorry. Sorry, Oliver. Don't hate me. Thank you again, Val. Greatly appreciate you. No, not you this time, Cheetah. Not you this time. It was Oliver. It was Oliver who got the unfortunate, mistaken ban. Glad to see you here, though, Patrick. Hope you're having a great day, buddy. All right, guys. So we are going to move on to the next overlay that I have for you guys. And that is the new friend group. Who dies this summer? Out of the new friend group, who will die this summer? I'm interested to see what you guys think. Out of these new characters, and yes, I put Gabriette, Tyler's character, as you can see on the bottom there, because she's a part of this now too. I don't care what anybody says. In my opinion, she's being thrown into the friend group because she's going to have an important role in this movie that I think is going slept on. Who out of the new friend group will die? And it can be multiple. Your picks can be multiple. It doesn't have to just be one character. It can be multiple characters. Let me know all the characters that you think will die this summer in this movie. Stella saying, according to IMDb, Billy Campbell's character has the same last name as Teddy. Ooh. Oh. That is interesting. Thank you for that, Stella. See, IMDb was holding out on me because I was on there a couple days ago and they still didn't have Billy's character name up. So thank you for the update. That's interesting. So basically, Teddy's father, I guess you could consider, because it looks like, in my opinion, he is going to be some type of town official. Maybe he's the mayor, maybe he's the governor. I don't know. But it definitely does seem like he is going to be playing that type of role. And that's fascinating that Teddy and him have the same last name. So I do think it could be a father and son dynamic for sure. Good stuff, Stella. Thank you for the update. I greatly appreciate that. Dom asking, what if Julie knew about Ray's accident and she didn't bother to show up to comfort Ray. So Ray kills her in this film. Ooh, that is interesting, man. I can see that reasoning being why he decided to turn into a killer. I could see that motive kind of working, like, damn, you know, I saved you twice. I saved you twice in the past, and regardless to the fact that we're not together anymore, and I also saved you when we weren't even together anymore. So the fact that I saved you twice, and then here I get into this big accident that could have ended my life, and you don't even reach out, you don't show up, nothing. That could be a unique motive to not only make Ray flip, but to lure Julie back to Southport to kill her for that reason. You know, so it's not technically going down the road of he's getting revenge for Julie leaving him. He's getting revenge because Julie didn't even have the decency, after he saved her life twice, to at least come visit him in Southport, no matter how traumatic it must be for her to revisit that place. You didn't even have the decency to do that and show up for me the way I showed up for you. So, yeah, man, that could work. I'm not against that at all. I actually like that a lot better than just them making it his motive be like, oh, you know, you left me here in Southport, so this is why I'm doing this. I think that is a way better motive than just going down that path. It definitely could happen, but I will say, Dom, in my opinion, I don't think Julie's going to die in this movie. I don't. And I'll explain why once we get to the overlay. You guys kind of already heard me bring it up, but I want to hear what you guys think about it and stuff like that. There's a reason why I don't believe Julie dies in this movie. But again, guys, who do you guys think dies out of the new friend group? Who dies this summer? Who do you guys have, you know, getting killed? Who you guys having falling victim to the hook or to the what is it? The spear, you know, or the knife? Because a killer is gonna be using a knife in this movie. They're gonna be using multiple weapons, which I'm really happy about that. You know, gives the killer some diversity. Out of the new friend group, who is going to die this summer? Cheetah saying not the newscaster. I hope she co-wrote the script. Oh, so Leah McKendrick is going to be the newscaster in this movie? I didn't even catch that in the trailers or anything. If she is, like, that would be nuts. That's awesome. I mean, that's cool because we've seen Radio Silence do that in Scream, and Wes Craven do that in Scream 2. You know, kind of, you know, have little roles that they can make a cameo in and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. I'm not against that. I like Leah McKendrick. I think she's awesome. And I hope she wrote a good story for us, or co-wrote a good story for us. Michael saying Tyler says in the trailer, it's you from the trailer. She has a scene with Ava and Milo. Huh. I did see that she has a scene where you do see most of the friend group around her and stuff like that. I didn't catch that part in regards to her saying it's you. Excuse me. I do know in the trailer they have her unmasking the killer, and she, you know, whoever it is, she's shocked, you know, and stuff like that. So it is obvious that Tyler knows who's going to be the killer, if indeed she herself is killed off in this film. Oh, Stella. Oh, man, let's go. Stella saying, I think everyone there dies except for Stevie. Stella, I'm kind of right there with you. I know some people. I will say this, Stella. I think personally now, it's going to be Stevie and Danica. And I'm going to get into my reasoning in a later theory video as to why I believe Danica will be surviving this summer. That's just me. You know what I mean? And stuff. But I'm right there with you, Stella. I think that the majority of our friend group goes down except for Stevie. I genuinely think that Stevie is going to be our new Julie James going forward. I know they want us to believe that it's Ava Brooks. I'm not buying it, but that's just me. And I'm right there with you. It's obviously not just me. It's you as well, Stella. So yeah, definitely. I definitely think Stevie is going to be our new final girl. I really do. I will die on that hill. King Matthew saying Stevie is definitely the main survivor, and the blonde girl and the dude in the white shirt and the dude in the blue shirt die. So Stevie and the dude in the jean jacket survive maybe. So hold on, let me reread this real quick. So you're talking about Milo and you're talking about Teddy's characters dying. Who's the dude in a jean jacket are you referring to, King Matthew? Because I can't recall seeing a guy in a jean jacket in the trailer. Let me know. Let me know, Matthew. But I agree. I definitely do think Stevie's going to be our main survivor. I do. Oh, you're good, buddy. You're good. No problem. And we have another super chat in the house, a $2 super chat from a Troll Campbell. Thank you once again, a Troll. I greatly appreciate it, man. Saying Teddy Spencer will live. He might be the killer. Ooh, that's interesting. This is the first person I have ever, seen so far in these discussions that we've had leading into the movie, peg Teddy as the killer. That is interesting, man. We do see in the trailer that Teddy is getting, hooked up. Like he looks in pretty rough shape, buddy. But for all we know, that scene could get cut from the actual movie, or that scene could be a part of a fake out, or Teddy could survive those injuries. We don't know until we see the movie. But that is really, really interesting, man. A Troll, let me know why you think Teddy will be the killer. And it's interesting because that's the next overlay and stuff. So you kind of answered the question, in regards to your end for the next overlay that I have. Thank you again, Noah Troll. I greatly appreciate it, buddy. Cheetah saying, I will send you our interview. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, because I want to be able to clip some of that into shorts. Hey, what's going on? Marlon Conway, hey, thank you, man. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber to the channel. This is the first time I've ever seen you here. I greatly appreciate it, buddy. Saying, I believe Madeline Klein and Chase Sui are the only two final girls. Okay, so basically you are saying that Milo, Jonah Howard King, Tyreek Withers, Teddy Spencer, good Lord, and Stevie Ward, Sarah Pidgeon, and Tyler Gabriette, they're all going to die. And the only two remaining are the two that you see in the middle of this overlay, which is Madeline Klein and Chase Sui Wonders as Ava Brooks and Danica Richards. Hey, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. I will say this, Marlon. I'm working on a theory video. I personally think that Ava's going to be one of the killers. And I'll go into deep detail as to why I believe that in that video. I do, however, think that Madeline Klein's character, Danica Richards, will actually survive and make it until the sequel. Good stuff, though, Marlon. Thank you for being here. King Matthew saying, doesn't the dude in a jean jacket get attacked in a trailer, so he may die? See, I can't tell you in regards to who the jean jacket person is, because I don't have that overlay put up. I'm gonna have to see, man. I'm gonna have to see who you're talking about, Matthew, and get back to you, buddy, because I can't exactly remember which one of the guys is seen wearing a jean jacket. Thank you for that, Val. That's right. Welcome Marlon to the channel, everybody. It's awesome. Marlon saying to Shannon, it's already shown when she's attacked, then Chase Sui gets trapped when she's hung. Yeah, I mean, but my argument to that is, if Chase Sui Wonders is getting trapped, well, I guess the question would be, why is she being trapped? Like, if the killer really wanted to kill her, killer really wanted to kill her, why not just take her out? Why you it's kind of like the Ray effect in the first two movies. Like, there's a chance to kill this character, but for some reason the killer isn't taking that chance. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And that's how I feel about Chase Sui's character. So, but hey, again, you might be right, man. She might be the final girl. She may just be. She may be. Marlon saying, I don't think Ava or Milo is the killer unless they're connected or related to the killer. Hey, that's very, very possible. That's very possible. Or they could just have some crazy reason as to why they decided to be a killer. I will say, I don't think Milo is I definitely don't think he's going to be a killer. He just doesn't strike me as that type. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but I just don't see it. I don't. Marlon saying, plot twist, Tyler is a red herring and ends up being one of the killers, since there's two different endings. There's one with one killer and another with two killers. Yeah, I keep hearing that there's multiple endings. There's multiple endings with different killers each time. That's what I have heard and stuff. So yeah, Tyler could definitely turn out to be a killer who's foreshadowed as a massive red herring for sure. Absolutely. Okay, guys, so we're going to move in to the next overlay that I have, which we've kind of already, I guess, answered that. So we'll skip this one because a lot of you guys have already basically gave your opinions on who lives and who dies. So we'll skip that one. So we'll go into this one. Someone is hiding something. Who is the killer / accomplice? And the reason why I put accomplice underneath killer is because, for all we know, out of the friend group, whoever is helping the killer, that doesn't mean necessarily that they've killed somebody themselves. You know what I mean? They just could be aiding the killer in regards to taking out these other characters, maybe giving them locations where certain characters are going to be, so on and so forth. I mean, granted, they are guilty and can be considered a killer by association, but they necessarily didn't kill anybody. They just helped set it up. You know what I mean? So out of all of the new characters in our friend group, who is the one that is hiding something? Or I'll even say this, who is the Ray Brunson out of the new friend group? Because remember, in the original film, it was Ray out of the friend group who had a secret, which his secret was that he was Billy Blue, a friend of David Egan, who went to go visit David's sister, Missy Egan's. So out of the new friend group, who is the one that is basically the new Ray? Who is the one that is hiding something? And who is the one that is the killer / accomplice, because I believe these two aspects are going to intertwine with each other. But that's just me. And I will say, guys, we are 5 super chats away from hitting our goal. If we get 5 more super chats, I will extend this stream until 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. As I stated in the super chat goal, lettering, if we hit the goal, you guys will basically be getting an hour and a half extra worth of content. And this stream will be basically a 1.5, 2 hour live stream, and we'll make it into a 3-hour live stream. So you guys will be basically getting a decent extension if we hit the super chat goal. But if we don't, it's okay. No big deal. I will say if we don't hit the goal, we got about 20, 30 minutes left in this stream to wrap everything up and to discuss everything that we're discussing. But again, if you guys want to go up until 8:15 p.m. Eastern time and make this I Know What You Did Last Summer Theories and Predictions Part 2 stream, a longer stream, let's hit that super chat goal. This basically, like I said, you guys will get up to 3 hours worth of content by the time the stream is done, as opposed to an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes, so on and so forth. But King Matthew's saying, that dude in the blue shirt next to the girl in the white dress looks suspicious, so I'll say maybe he's hiding something. Oh, Teddy. Good old Teddy, who's going to basically be our new Barry Cox in this movie. Hey, it could be. I mean, especially since Stella was kind enough to provide us with that update that Teddy could be related to Billy Campbell's character in Grant, because they have the same last name. He's hiding something. I will personally say I don't think it is him. I don't. He doesn't strike me as somebody. I feel like Teddy's going to be the type of character who just really doesn't care about what's going on around him up until shit gets real. Up until basically he has to fight for his life. But hey, maybe he is hiding something. We'll have to wait and see. Marlon saying to a troll that I think so too. Teddy or Jonah Howard character could be hiding something. Ooh, interesting. Especially since we see Teddy punch the killer to distract him. Maybe again, I mean, any one of them could be the one hiding the secret. Excuse me. I don't think Teddy or Jonah Howard will be the ones. Maybe Jonah will be, because, I mean, I guess you can consider him to be the new Ray of this new movie, because he's dating Ava's character, who is being said to be the quote unquote new Julie James. So maybe he could be, maybe they could be going with Milo's character in the same direction that they went with Ray's character in the original. I don't know, man. I just really don't get those type of vibes off of Milo's character. I just really don't. I mean, I will say this. He is rather mysterious. I think out of all of the characters, I think he's the most mysterious one out of them all, because we see him in the trailers, but we don't have enough information on him. You know what I mean? Like, there's not enough on him to really see or break down. So, hey, maybe he is the one with the secret. We'll have to see. But guys, again, who is hiding something out of the friend group? Who is going to be the killer / accomplice? I'll ask you guys this. Will there be, basically out of the friend group, right? Will there be one person who is keeping a secret? And then will there be another person who is going to be the killer, right? Maybe the person who has the secret, maybe the person who is hiding something doesn't turn out to be the killer per se, but still someone in the friend group is still going to turn out to be a killer. Let me know what you guys think about that. Stella's saying, I think Teddy is going to be an ass. Yeah, he's definitely going to be the new Barry Cox for sure, Stella. He definitely. Just even in the trailers alone, you just get that vibe off of him. You just really do. And I'm here for it. I liked Barry's character. I know he was a dickhead, but I liked him. Marlon saying they're related and possibly both dying, or Grant could be the one who gets killed in the crash. Well, I don't think Grant is going to be the one killed in the crash because we see them all at the town hall, which actually takes place a year after the crash. So I definitely do think he's going to be present in certain moments of the film. However, and I just did this, I just mentioned this in my theory video for Ray being the killer. I think the shot in the Fear TV spot trailer where we see somebody with gray hairs getting stabbed through the throat, I think you can make the argument that that will be Grant's character in that moment, because a lot of people think that it will be Ray in that moment because he has a gray, goatee / chin hair / beard. But if you look at Billy Campbell / Grant, he also has a gray beard and gray chin hair and so on and so forth. So I definitely do think he could be definitely on the hook to get killed in this movie. For sure. King Matthew saying, do you think they'll give Teddy a car chase similar to Barry's chase in the original? Maybe Teddy gets chased by a car. I actually think they don't. And I actually think the one who's going to get a Barry Cox style chase scene, but it's not going to be with a car. It's just going to be a normal, running and walking type chase scene. It's going to be Danica's character. And the reason why I say that is because there is a shot in the trailer where you see her on the ground and she's telling the fisherman, I'm sorry. And remember, when Barry got ran over and was taken out for a second and stuff, and he was crying, trying to beg for mercy, he was saying over and over again to the fisherman, to Ben Willis, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and stuff like that. And in the trailer, when Ava's character goes to get advice and help from Julie at the college, she says, my friend was attacked. Now, I also think there could be two different style of chase scenes for Danica's character in this movie. There's the one in her store. I think she's going to get chased in her boutique because we see a blonde-haired girl with a black shirt that is similar to the black shirt that Danica is seen wearing in the trailers and stuff like that. But there is also that chase scene that I just mentioned through the cemetery and stuff like that, where she's pleading with the fisherman, basically saying she's sorry and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be Danica who's going to be the one to kind of get a Barry Cox style chase scene in this movie. But that's just me. Just without the car this time around. Marlon saying the fiance could be like a dream sequence or something rather than an actual kill, since we only see him dying once and we see the others being chased and attacked. Yeah, I mean, okay, I get what you're saying. So you're basically saying Wyatt, Danica's new fiance, and stuff like that could be a dream sequence rather than an actual kill. Man, I don't think it's going to be a dream sequence, and the only reason why is because we do see Danica with with two different engagement rings in the movie. The engagement ring that Teddy had gave her the year before, and with the engagement ring that Wyatt had gave her in the present. So I don't think he's going to be like a dream sequence or anything like that. and stuff. I think he is going to get killed off, and that's what's going to basically be the first kill that starts the chain of events and stuff like that. But that's just me. It's possible maybe they do go in that direction. I just don't see it playing out that way. But hey, I could be wrong. Right, Michael? That's what I'm saying. Michael's saying Milo gives most normal vibes from materials. Like, yeah, like he just kind of gives me this vibe like he's just a normal dude. Like there's really not much personality to him. You know what I mean? That's, I guess, where I'm getting at with that. Marlon saying it could be accidental, like it's one of the friends telling somebody something that is the actual killer. Hold on, let me reread that. It could be accidental, like it's one of the friends telling somebody something that is the actual killer. What do you mean by that, Marlon? Yeah, I'm kind of confused. Hold on, let me see if you had another message before or another comment before this one. Okay, so I see you said almost like in the Pretty Little Liars show, the villain is always watching and listening to the main characters and stuff. Yeah, for sure. Like if you're talking about the most recent Pretty Little Liars shows, like Original Sin and Summer School, yeah, for sure. But also keep in mind that those killers basically they were present in certain moments with our main group and stuff like that. So I don't know if it would be somebody who's just watching from afar or just somebody who is just like present, but we really don't see them present, but they overheard like our friend group talking about something. Maybe I'm not getting, maybe I'm not extrapolating what you're trying to say correctly, but I do think it's going to be somebody who is seen present around our group. I will say that. Okay, we are going to move on to the next overlay that I have. And that is Carla returns. Does this mean that Julie survives this summer? And the reason why I wanted to put this up here, you guys, is because me personally, I think with Carla basically all but confirmed to return, we got this news that there is going to be a post-credit scene that makes it seem that that post-credit scene is going to be where Carla returns. I personally do think that if that does happen, that does mean that Julie is going to survive this summer. And the reason why I believe that is because I can't see them going into the sequel having Carla be the legacy character that is helping whoever's left out of this new friend group by herself. Like I don't see Carla as a strong enough character like a Gale Weathers in Scream to kind of be that solo legacy character that comes back and helps carry the newer friend group and stuff like that. I don't see her being strong enough of a character. I think if she is going to be in this movie, or if she's going to be in the next movie as well, it has to be with Julie James present and stuff. But what do you guys think about that? Carla returns. Does this mean that Julie survives this summer? Let me know what you guys think. And guys, I will throw this out there. We have under 4 minutes to hit our super chat goal. So if we don't hit the super chat goal, it's okay. No big deal and stuff like that. But if we don't hit the super chat goal, then I won't extend the stream, and we will wrap up the stream here very shortly. Yo, what's up, Denisha? One of my modulators and loyal supporters here to the channel, saying, hey, everyone, what's going on, girl? Glad to see you. I hope you're having a great day. King Matthew III saying, Grant is probably going to be this gentleman's max. So he'll probably be the first kill. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Well, I will say this. From the trailers, we know for a fact that there is going to be another car that passes by our friend group before the accident happens. So could that be like a Max type of character that ends up getting revealed and stuff? I mean, maybe, and stuff like that. I personally think if Grant is going to die or whatever and stuff, it's not going to, he doesn't know anything about the accident. I'll say that. I don't think Grant knows anything about the accident. I just think if Grant dies, he's going to die because he's Teddy's dad. But he very well could be the first kill, for sure. He definitely could be the first kill. A troll saying the girl in the white dress definitely dies. Also, Brandy could be the killer. They won't say if she is in the movie or not. Well, I will say this, a troll, from recent reports and stuff, and I feel like they are legitimate and stuff, it seems we are going to get a post-credit scene with Brandy being a part of it. So I don't think she's going to be the killer in this movie, but we won't know for sure until we see the movie. For all we know, that news about there being a post-credit scene and that scene's going to be for Brandy, that could be hogwash for all we know. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. So you might be right. Maybe Brandy could be the killer and stuff like that. I just feel like what would be her motive, for doing this and stuff like that. I don't know how I would feel about Carla being a killer. You know what I mean? That's just me though, man. If they were going to make her a killer, they better have a damn good reason why she went down this path. You know what I mean? And stuff. And I just feel like not just with the casual audience, with the diehard audience, if she's revealed as a killer, I think many would see that as a letdown because a lot of people like Carla's character. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, but hey, she could be, bro. She definitely could be. And in regards to Madeline Klein, hey, she could die as well. I mean, in the trailer, they definitely do make it look like she's going to die. Marlon saying, I don't believe Ray or Julie is dying because they would lose all of the OG fans from the original. They should make them like Sydney and Gail, characters who can't be killed off. Yeah, I get that to a degree, Marlon, but then at the same time, that's not providing anything fresh for the franchise. I feel like you have to at least kill one of them. And the one I would kill is Ray. Even though, in my opinion, that would be copying what they did with Dewey and Scream. I just feel like Julie is such an important character to the franchise. The fans cling more to Julie than they do to Ray, in my opinion, which makes Ray more expendable than her and stuff. But if we don't take risks by killing one of them off or by making one of them a killer and then killing them off in that way, if we don't in that way, oh my goodness, but in that way, right, then we're not really taking any real risks. We're not only not taking risks, we're not doing anything fresh. You know what I mean? You have to do something fresh in order for these franchises to keep being able to come back and be credible entities and stuff like that. So for me, I don't personally think it would be a great idea to make these two characters like Sydney and Gail and stuff like that. And another reason why I'll say that too is because they don't have the longevity of a Sydney and Gail. They only have 2 movies. Now, if this was a franchise that was like Scream and we got 3 or 4 movies centered around Ray and Julie's story, then I'd say, okay, maybe I'd be a little bit more lenient to that. But then again, I'm still more along the lines you got to kill off one of these legacy characters. They cannot all live. Otherwise, it's just to me, what was the point in bringing in new characters to focus on, right? Like, if you're just going to let the old characters stay alive and keep bringing them back for more movies, then you might as well just have these movies centered around them and their stories, and no one knew. So that's my take on that. You know, I do think one of them is going to die. I do think one of them is going to die, and I do think it's going to be Ray. It's just a matter of how will Ray die in this movie? Will he go out as a killer, or will he go out as a hero? Good stuff, though. I like it. Stella asking, is it possible when Helen went off to New York, she was pregnant and had a baby that she gave up? Oh, I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible. I will say this. I'm more skeptical of Tyler's character actually being connected to Sarah Michelle Gellar, Helen Shivers, more than any other character in this movie. And I will explain in my theory video for that why. I'm not going to give you all the gory details here because I want to be able to really dive deep into that theory and provide you guys with decent evidence that could make the theory plausible and stuff. But I do think Tyler's character, if they were to go in that direction with introducing that Helen had gotten pregnant the year she was out of Southport and in New York, I do think that Tyler's character could be something like that if they wanted to go in that direction. Good stuff, Stella. I like it. Not bad at all. I will say it's definitely going to have, this story is definitely going to be tied into Helen's character, something deep, in my opinion. How deep they decide to go, we'll have to wait and see. But there is a reason why Helen's Easter eggs are littered and her presence is littered in this movie. Just have to wait and see. All right, guys, so we didn't hit the super chat goal, which is okay, but we still have a couple overlays that I'm going to pull up here for you guys and stuff like that, and then we're going to end up wrapping up the stream. I'm going to get to a couple of you guys' comments in regards to these next overlays that I have, and then we're going to call it a night for this stream. So the next one is Julie and Ray. How will their past connect to the present? I'm interested to see what you guys think about this. How will Julie and Ray's past connect to the new group and the present events that are occurring in Southport? What do you guys have in mind? Yeah, absolutely, Marlon. Yeah, she's wanted to come back. She's wanted to come back. It was just a matter of were they going to pull the trigger. But I'll be honest, man. I'll be completely honest. When Jennifer Caton Robinson was asked whether or not Brandy was going to be in this movie, and her response to that was, "You'll have to wait to see the movie," I personally, in my mind, was like, she's going to be in the movie. Because if you're leaving the door open, in my opinion, if you're not saying flat out no, then that to me is all but certain that she's going to be in this movie and stuff like that. So, yeah, for sure. She definitely has been teasing wanting to return to I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I'm happy for Brandy. She deserves it. I liked Carla's character. You know what I mean? I like Carla's character a lot. I just don't think Carla's character, I don't think there's enough story around the character for her to be the lead legacy character to come back in a sequel without Julie or without Ray present. And me personally, I would not want to see her present without Julie. That's just me, though. I want to see Carla and Julie teaming up again. But what do you guys think? Julie and Ray, how will their past connect to the present? How will their past connect to the present events and this new accident that is taking place in Southport? Oh, I see. I'm super behind in the chat. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't believe. Yeah, well, I don't want to say that, man, because from what we've seen in the trailer, we can tell that the female fisherwoman, well, that the fisherwoman in the trailer, who we believe to be a fisherwoman, she's a slim frame. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I don't know if the build subsequently matters. I'll put it this way. The build doesn't matter as long as you're having that person do kills that fits their build. Like, to me, you can't have a Scream 5 situation where a 120 to 130 pound little girl in Amber Freeman is gutting a 200 pound plus man in Dewey Riley, lifting him up off of his feet, and you expect us to believe that it was really her underneath the mask. They can't have kills for their female killer like that in this movie. Otherwise, it's going to be unbelievable. And the whole build aspect will play a role. But if they give a female killer, if they give a slim build female killer kills that seem very plausible for them to enact, then build doesn't matter, in my opinion. But Marlon saying Carla doesn't have the build to be a killer, in my opinion, but they lose many fans over this, especially since she is one of the beloved characters. Yeah, she is beloved, and she is beloved. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But I just think, like, even if she's a killer, I don't think fans would be I don't think fans would be mad because of the beloved aspect. I think they would be mad because it's just like, okay, why? You know, why are you doing this? Like, it just, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like if Carla were to be a killer, her motive, the motive that they would come up for her might not be good, you know, and stuff like that. So I definitely hope Carla isn't a killer. Stella saying, I cling to Ray. I get it. I totally understand. I totally understand. Marlon saying, in the trailer, however, they made it seem like Ray is going to be their version of Dewey. Yeah, they definitely did to a degree, but I feel like if you really break down those trailers and if you take into account what's been said about the test screenings and multiple endings and how some of those endings in the final act play out, I also do think that they make Ray look very, very, very suspicious to the point where you could say he is going to be the killer. And me personally, I think the movie will end at Ray's bar. And if he's not the killer, then I hope they have a really good reason as for why the killer chose his bar as the sentimental location to have the final act with Julie present. I personally just feel the reason why the final act and the ending of the movie may take place at Ray's bar is because Ray is going to turn out to be the killer. But that's me. He could definitely be their version of Dewey in this movie when it's all said and done. King Matthew III saying, I don't mind if Ray dies, but don't dumb him down like they did to Dewey before Dewey died, and don't make Ray an alcoholic neither. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I like the fact that Dewey was the one to present the rules and stuff. I didn't like the fact that they made Dewey like an alcoholic and kind of like he lost his edge. He lost his mojo, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I definitely don't want that to be, I don't want the same thing to happen to Ray's character. All right, so we're going to move on to the next overlay here that I have. unidentified killers or side characters who will eat the hook. Will these characters who are hardly seen in the trailers, I know Austin Nichols was vaguely seen in one of the trailers. I heard somebody mention that, but I have personally not seen Nicholas Alexander Chavez, Lola Tongue, or Austin Nichols featured much in these trailers. So what do you guys think? Will these characters be unidentified Will these characters be unidentified killers who are revealed at the end, or somewhat meaningless side characters who will eat the hook? Basically, they're just there for the body count. What do you guys think about this? Anna saying, I think I saw Ava getting attacked in one of the TV spots. But what if she pulls a Jill Roberts? Anna, Anna, I am right there with you. Yes, we do see the fisherman, slashing at her and chasing after her in what we could assume to be Helen Shivers' old store, because Helen Shivers' old store is still somewhat the same. They still have like the mannequins and stuff there. But I also heard that it is also a restaurant as well. And you kind of can see it is a restaurant. You see some booths, you see some platings and stuff like that. So, yeah, I definitely do think Ava could be pulling a Jill Roberts in that moment. And somebody had, basically questioned me about that in regards to, my thoughts of Ava, looking really suspicious and could be a killer. And they said, why would she chase herself, or why would she have somebody chase her if she's a part of it, so on and so forth? And I'm like, this could be a part of a fake out chase scene. I mean, horror movies, slashers in particular, are not ones to be shy in regards to doing fake out deaths, fake out attacks, so on and so forth. So this could just be a fake attack sequence to make Ava look less like a suspect, when really in the end of it, she is going to be one of the killers. But I'm right there with you, Anna. I'm right there with you. I definitely do think that Ava is going to be a Jill Roberts, and she could end up being a killer in this movie. King Matthew saying, is it possible we see Missy Egan return to this film somehow? Maybe Julie finds clues that Missy left behind. I really don't think so. Unfortunately, Anne Heche is no longer with us. So I don't know if they would want to bring that character back without her being present and stuff. I mean, they might have a little homage to her, maybe a mention and stuff like that. But I don't think we're going to see Missy Egan at all in this movie. But that's just me. King Matthew saying, also the way Julie's expression is at the end of the trailer is the same expression Sydney had in Scream 5 when the killers reveal themselves. Maybe that's a hint that Ray dies. I actually am one that leans into her reaction when she starts welling up and crying, and there's so much frustration and hurt and anger in her expression and stuff. I think that that's a reveal that Ray is the killer, which is why she is so emotional and so angry in that moment and stuff like that. But hey, it could be the other way around. It could be because Ray was killed off. It definitely could be. Me personally, I'm leaning more towards her reaction is that reaction because she is devastated by Ray's betrayal. Marlon saying to Anna, it could be possible, or it could be like Amber Freeman. I'd love for it to be like Tara's attack. I'm assuming you're talking about Danica's chase scene or Chase's chase scene. Marlon saying, I feel like Ray's bar and the boat scene take place during the ending. Yup, I agree. And the reveal happens there. Yup. I also feel like the what are you waiting for is either before or after the unmasking. I agree with you. I agree with you, Marlon. I think any of those definitely could play out, especially in regards to Julie saying, what are you waiting for? Either the killer will be unmasked in that moment or they won't be, and stuff like that. But I personally, if I had to lean and pick one, I think the killer is unmasked already, which is why Julie and her reaction is the way that it is. But hey, we'll see. I can't wait for this movie. I cannot wait till next weekend. Marlon saying Lola Tongue and Austin Nichols could get killed, be in a crash, or possibly be a killer. Yep, all three scenarios could definitely turn out that way. Absolutely. I do feel like all three of these characters that I have in the overlay will turn out to just be body count. You know, but it's not impossible to think that any one of them, if not all three or two of them, could be the killer, because remember, in the original I Know What You Did Last Summer trailer, we only seen Ben Willis once, and that's when he clotheslined Ray, and we don't see his face. And it was for a brief second. So maybe the fact that we don't see them in the trailer is all that often anyway, or at all, is because maybe one of them or all of them or a couple of them are going to be the killer. Definitely possible. King Matthew III saying, for a while, I thought Nicholas Chavez would be one of the killers. Maybe Nicholas Chavez plays a role that Will Benson did, and maybe Nicholas Chavez's character helps Ray. It's possible. Yeah, I mean, he's not seen in much of the trailers. And I will say this, he plays an awesome villain type of character, or a villain-like character. I should say a villain-like character. A character with villain aspects to them. In this show, Grotesquerie, that I have been mentioning here over the last couple of weeks, I'm going to start doing some content on that show and stuff. So he could definitely be a killer that we just don't see a lot in the trailer, for sure. And he would definitely be a great killer because he plays that menacing, villainous type of role very, very well. Michael's saying 80% sure that Milo and Teddy are not the killers from the friend group. Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. I definitely agree. I don't see them as the killers neither. I think they both get taken out. I think they both get killed. I actually think that the two people that we see hanging upside down, tied upside down by the docks, that the girls end up finding along with the rest of the community, will be Teddy and Milo. That's me, though. Marlon saying Nicholas Chavez could be Teddy's dad, Grant. No, actually, Billy Campbell's character, Billy Campbell, is going to be playing Grant Spencer. So it's safe to assume that Billy Campbell is going to be playing Teddy's father. Stella clued us in on that earlier. Marlon saying Chase Sui does get attacked during a TV spot. She gets cut and Julie's right there and says, what are you waiting for? See, that's the thing. I mean, in those TV spots, and I'll maybe have to go back and look, I don't see her get cut at all. All I see her have is a little bit of blood coming from her mouth. That's it. I don't see no wounds. I don't see anything and stuff like that. And the part where she's on the boat or at Ray's bar with Julie, she's cowered in a corner. So we don't really see her. We don't really see what happens to her and stuff like that before Julie comes up and tries to console her and stuff like that, unless they dropped some newer TV spots that I haven't seen yet that show that. I haven't seen any trailers or TV spots where we physically see her get hurt, other than the little bit of blood coming from her mouth at Ray's bar and stuff like that. So I don't know, but even if she does get cut, hey, Jill Roberts got cut in Scream 4, and she turned out to be a killer. So I genuinely believe that Chase Sui is going to be a killer in this movie. And I have a very credible reasoning as to why I believe such that I will share in my theory video for Ava Brooks being the fisherman woman. I have a very credible reasoning. It's not no rumor. It's not no nothing. It's from the source herself, in my opinion. Yeah, Nicholas is a young buck. Yeah, he's a young buck. King Matthew saying Austin Nichols' character is going to die, I think. I honestly think all three people in this list that I have here in this overlay, I think they're all going to die. I think these three characters are going to kind of be like how Scream gets certain stars to come in and just be for the body count, just be kills for the body count, and obviously just to say they were in a Scream movie. That's what I think these three characters are going to be in this I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. But again, I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. Good stuff, though, you guys. You guys have some great ideas for sure. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the last overlay that we have here, guys, and then we are going to wrap up the stream. We'll probably spend like another 7 to 10 minutes on this conversation, and then we'll call it an evening for this bad boy. How many killers will be revealed at the end of I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025? How many killers will be revealed? And I'll also throw in this question. How many will be revealed, and will any of them make it to the sequel? Will we see one of these killers that is going to be revealed at the end of the movie survive in some type of way to where they come back in the sequel like Ben Willis did in the original? Or could this be a case where we have three killers in this movie, right? We have three total killers, right? But only two of them get revealed, with one of them going unrevealed until the sequel. So we got three active fishermen in this movie killing people, but we only get the reveal of two because they're going to save the reveal of one of them for the next film. What do you guys think about this? Interested to see what you guys come up with. Yeah, it does look like she's kind of like holding her arm, or like she does kind of look like limping sideways and stuff like that. But I'm not buying it. And the reason why I'm not buying it is because we've seen Will Benson, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, have a bunch of blood on him. He was laboring. He was playing the part really, really well. And then what happened? It's not my blood, Julie. What's your favorite radio station, Julie? Come on, Julie, what's your favorite radio station? Like, so my point is that even though it does look like Ava gets attacked, it looks like she is laboring. It does look like, she does have some type of physicality done to her. I still think she could be a killer, and that everything that is going to happen to her basically is just to throw everybody off, and it's going to be revealed that she is a part of it at the end. Yep, Marlon. Yep, Billy Campbell from Enough. I loved him in that movie. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, listen, I don't think he is going to be a killer in this movie, But if they did make him a killer in this movie, I definitely would not be mad because he plays a villain very, 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 very good. He is a very good villain type of character. He's very charming. He's manipulative. He's got that intensity to him, that menacing aspect to him. He checks all the boxes that you would want for a killer reveal. I just don't think it's going to happen in this one. But yes, Billy Campbell from Enough, Marlon. Yeah, you're right, Stella. Stella saying Nicholas Chavez is known for playing a psycho. And in his first acting role, he played a big part of a serial killer story where the killer used a fisherman's hook. Oh, shit. I never knew that. Oh, I never knew that. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, I'll say this, Stella. You have me even more intrigued than I was before about him possibly being a killer in this movie. I'm going to do a theory video about this. You know what I mean? But I will say that I think if he is revealed as a killer, it would kind of be a letdown only because a lot of people kind of already expect him to be that. Because I've seen you and I have seen multiple people come in the comment section and bring up the aspect of him playing psycho roles very, very well. So, and not to say that his killer wouldn't be good or that he wouldn't do a great job in this type of role again. I just feel like if he is the killer, it's like, damn, it's kind of obvious, you know, because we've seen him play this type of role, especially the type of role that you just mentioned about, you know, a serial killer with a fisherman's hook. I think people who know that aspect about him, knowing that he's going to be in this film, is already kind of expecting and maybe hoping he's the killer. So, but I'm still going to do a theory video about this because that's interesting. Marlon saying, also another thing I noticed in the trailer is that it's suspiciously similar to Scream 2022. They could be following the same formula. It's a Scream, baby. I know. If you know, you know. What do you mean, though, about like another thing that you notice in the trailer is that it's suspiciously similar to Scream 2022? And this is just me. Maybe I'd have to go back and rewatch Scream 2022's trailer. I personally don't think there's really much of anything in that trailer that mimics or looks like the I Know What You Did Last Summer trailers. I mean, I didn't get those vibes, but that's just me. You know, so I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're talking about them doing the same formula, like, then I would assume that the killers are doing this to kind of, how can I say this? To kind of bring the past story and this new story and put it in a light to where it will never be forgotten. Because that's how I always take Richie and Amber's motives for doing what they did in Scream 5. You know, they were tired of the Stab movies. They were tired of how they weren't original. There was all this stuff happening within the Stab franchise. So they decided to give the studio new source material for a new Stab movie by doing what they did and stuff like that. And because of toxic fandom and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't see the same formula, because I Know What You Did Last Summer doesn't have like that movie within a movie aspect that Scream does. That kind of makes it feel like the same formula. But hey, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But I don't personally feel like the trailer of Scream 2022 and I Know What You Did Last Summer trailer, I don't really see the similarities. But let me know. I'll have to go back and check it out and maybe see if my thoughts change. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Marlon. Nicholas Chavez played Lyle Menendez in the Netflix show. Yes, he did. Yeah, Stella, I can't wait to put it out there too. I think that, with the information that I've put together, I think it's very, very plausible that she is going to be a killer in this movie. A troll saying 3 killers. Nice. Like it. Yeah, I think there's a possibility we could see 3 as well. Whether it's 3 that all go revealed or 2 that go revealed in this movie and then 1 makes it to the next one. That's my big theory in regards to the killers. We'll have 3 killers present in the movie doing the slash and doing the murders and stuff, but that one of them will make it to the sequel unrevealed. But that's me. Good stuff, a troll. Like it. Love it. Let's go. Stella saying 2 killers. Okay. Very possible as well. King Matthew III saying, I actually have a prediction that there is going to be 2 killers. I actually have a prediction that there's going to be 3 killers because they already have had 2. And I still know what you did last summer. Maybe they upped the numbers on the killers in this one. Hey, that's very possible. Great point, Matthew, because even though Will Benton didn't really kill anybody, he was his father's accomplice. He helped set everything up. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, yeah, there could definitely be more than 3 killers if they wanted to go in that direction to get different and to up the count, because we already did see basically a 2 killer reveal in the second movie. Great point. Marlon says, I feel like either 1 or 2 killers will be revealed. If it is more than 3, then I could see it happening as an end credit scene, or maybe 2 get revealed, but 1 gets killed by another one to throw us off. Hey, that's very, very possible. I will say this. I genuinely believe that Stevie Ward, and I talked about this, that scene we see in the trailers where Stevie is by herself in a house somewhere, she turns around and then the fisherman bursts through the glass doors and stuff. I think that is a dream sequence that will be the exact ending of the movie, just like in the original movie with Julie James. So I do think that we will see, and basically what I'm saying is, in that regard, let's say we get 2 killers, right, revealed in this movie. And let's say Stevie is our final girl. And we follow her. She's in this house. She's alone. And then she hears like a strange noise or something. And then she goes to turn. And then she screams. And then the fisherman bursts through the glass doors like we've seen it in the trailer. To me, that would be them setting it up for the sequel, that there is more killers out there. We've had 2 revealed in this one, but there's 1 more out there that is going to be coming after Stevie and whoever else in the next one. So, yeah, I'm kind of right there with you, Marlon. I'm right there with you. Yup, and set up the sequel. Yup, for sure. And that's how they could end this movie, on a cliffhanger right there. That would be their cliffhanger. King Matthew III saying the smartest thing to do is, if Ray is a killer and there's a sequel planned, for him to fake his death in this one and then in the sequel reveal himself. Ooh, I like that. And the reason why I like that is because even though it mimics what Ben Willis did, it has its own flair to it, because we don't get Ray revealed as a killer in this one because his death is staged, which would make his reveal in the second one as a killer all the more epic. I like that idea. I really like that idea, Matthew. Great theory. I like that. I like that a lot. I do. It also allows for this aspect of Ray being the killer to be flushed out, maybe give it some more meat on the bone, some more backstory, you know? I like that. I like that a lot. Good stuff. Yeah, I agree, Marlon. I see what you're saying to King Matthew. I definitely agree. That is a great theory. Stella saying, I think one killer will be presumed dead, but left open so that they could make a return in the next one. Hey, I mean, basically like Ben Willis, but instead, well, no, it would be just like Ben Willis because they are presumed dead, but they basically leave it open by maybe one of the killers loses a hand like Ben Willis did, right? And they pay homage to that, and then they leave the door open like, oh, that killer is still out there because we don't recover. They never recovered the body. I wouldn't mind it. But at the same time, I do want them to get different from what was done with Ben Willis's character. So I think doing that would just be too nostalgic and too homage-y, and then it would kind of hurt the sequel and the whole whodunit aspect, because then at that point we would know for certain that this killer, who is presumed dead but they left the door open to a return, will return. So I do think it's a little bit too close to what Ben Willis did. But hey, there's supposed to be a lot of nostalgic moments in this movie, so they could definitely decide to recreate that scene in some shape, way, or form with the killers. All right, so we're going to get to these last couple of comments, guys, and then we are going to wrap the stream up. Eric Corley saying maybe Teddy's related to Barry or one of his best friends. He blames Ray and Julie for his death. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if Teddy were to turn out to be a killer, and let's say Teddy and his dad, right, Grant, turn out to be killers, and there is some type of familial connection to Barry Cox, I don't think that would be too much of a bad idea. And it would be somewhat shocking just because everybody is expecting that whoever the killer will be revealed to be will have a deep connection to Helen Shivers, right? We're getting all these Helen Shivers Easter eggs. So you would assume that whoever the killer is, they're going to have some deep type of tie to her. By going in the opposite direction, by making the killers, related to Barry, that would be a nice nugget. That would be a nice homage and, pay tribute to Barry's character and stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't be against it as long as they did it correctly. But, man, I don't know, man. I kind of don't want the killer's motive to be revenge-driven based on, like, Helen Shivers and Barry Cox. Like, I feel like the killer, if it's not Ray or if it's not anybody that the main people that we assume or that we talk about, I do think there's a possibility one of the killers could be related to Helen Shivers. And I'm not against it. I just don't want it to be the revenge narrative, full blown. I don't want it to be a full blown revenge narrative. I want them to have their own plausible reasoning as to why they're doing what they're doing on top of the revenge narrative. Good stuff, though. Okay, Stella's saying he didn't play the killer with the hook. He was suspected and an almost victim in that first role. It's just add that killer wore a slicker and had a hook. Okay, got you. Yeah, but still the fact that he actually played in a movie like that and that he was even a suspect, I feel like it would give the fan base and just even casual audiences who know him to play that type of role or to be a suspect in that type of role, they might still think, oh, well, he didn't get to play that role before. Maybe he gets to play it this time, you know? Hey, I ain't against it. I think he plays a great psycho. So if he turns out to be the killer, as long as his motive is strong and he's compelling, I'm all here for it. I am all here for it. All right, guys. So we are going to end up wrapping up the stream here in about a minute or two. I'm going to get to the last bit of these comments. Marlon asking Stella or saying to Stella, that's possible. Haha. But it would be awesome if he was. Are you referring to grotesquerie? I know I'm referring to grotesquerie in regards to Nicholas Alexander Chavez playing somewhat of a villainous character. Yes. Yes, I am referring to him in that regard. Hey, what's up, Gina? Oh, I'm sorry. You're catching the tail end of the stream. I'm sorry. You know, I'm about to actually end the stream here in about a minute or two. But either way, Gina, thank you for showing up and for showing your support as you always do. And I did see your message, obviously, because I responded to you and stuff. So hopefully you can make it for the members only live stream that I'm going to be putting together next week, as well as the watch party. Always good to see you, Gina, and give Ziggy some love for me as well. DJ saying it's Stu under the hood with the fish hook since Stu's on vacation fishing, right? Oh, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Hey, I mean, if we get that crossover between Screaming I Know What You Did Last Summer, like Jennifer Caton Robinson wants to happen, we could see that happen. So I'm not against it, man. Eric saying Billy Campbell gives Ben Willis vibes. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, hey, again, Eric, I mean, he plays a great villainess type of character, and he does kind of have that look to him and that feel like he's a very stern individual. You know what I mean? Like, he's a very hardened individual. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. He definitely does give off those type of vibes for sure. Great actor. I think he's one of the more underappreciated actors that is out there. King Matthew III saying, have a good night. I'm about to leave the stream because I have to head to work. I got a night shift tonight. Well, hey, man, thank you for being here, King Matthew, and some great ideas and theories as well, man. This was definitely a blast as always. And have a great night at work, and I will catch you on the next live stream or in the next video. Thank you for showing your support as always, buddy. And on that note, everyone, we are going to end the stream. I want to thank everybody for attending this. I Know What You Did Last Summer Theories and Predictions live stream part 2. We are going to have part 3, which is the final Theories and Predictions stream on Wednesday night here on the channel. It's already posted. So head over to, shoot the link, head over to the channel, check the live stream section of the channel. The next live stream that we have for I Know What You Did Last Summer will be Wednesday evening. The stream is already made. Guys, shoot the like button. It definitely helps out with the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that, so we can get a great audience here on Wednesday as well. And I will also let you guys know it's already posted on the channel. So guys, head over to that stream I'm about to mention as well. Drop a like and join me and a few great guests tomorrow afternoon for an I Know What You Did Last Summer movie marathon. We're going to be watching all 3 of the first 3 movies of the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise in rapid succession over the course of tomorrow. So that is definitely going to be a lot of fun. That is a reward for you guys hitting the super chat goal on the first I Know What You Did Last Summer Theories and Predictions live stream that I did about, say, almost 2 months ago or something like that. So we're finally doing the I Know What You Did Last Summer live watch along movie marathon, films 1 through 3. It is going to be a blast. Shoot over to the stream now, shoot the like button, shoot the notification icon, and join me tomorrow and my guests for an epic fun time covering this franchise, watching the first 3 films. It's going to be a great time, guys. But everybody, enjoy the rest of your night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Be safe out there. Stay out of trouble. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.